My name is Amanda Kaufman, and you are watching another episode of Making It Happen, the weekly video blog series where I share with you tips, tricks, strategies for making things happen in your life, whether you are pivoting into something big and new and exciting, or maybe you're already living into your purpose and you just want to do a better job of getting it done, getting out there, and making things happen for you. So, this week, I want to talk about the finer distinction between people pleasing and service. So we're very motivated, right, to help people in any way we can. Whether it's holding a door open, or maybe you agree to review something for someone, or give them some advice, or help them out, or, that's what we do. We help. And we like the feeling of being helpful, and we like to please people. We do, because we get that validation back, right? And we get that supportive kind of a feeling that we're doing something right and it's a good thing. And it is a good thing to help other people and to be there for them and to be connected and to be present. But there is a fine distinction between people pleasing and being of service. So what really is the difference? If you're walking around in the world and you feel that everything that you're doing is in service of other people, then cool, good for you. But if you're actually taking it to, and I'm playing with a pen today, I don't know what that's about, but hey, we're going to roll with it. If you're walking around in the world and you're saying that you're limited because you're doing things for other people, that's a pretty big signal that you might be people pleasing more so than being in service. Another example might be, gosh, I'd really do this thing, but I have to do this, that, and the other for other people first. Or, gosh, I really don't like what I'm doing, but it's in service to other people, and so then I'm going to keep doing it. So what's the difference between that and necessarily being in service? And really what it comes down to is where are you placing your power? Is the power with you, that you're deciding to give of yourself and be of service? Or is the power with the other person, that they are dictating to you what it is that they need, and then you are at the effect of that, right? And when we are at the effect of it, as opposed to being in power with it, that can really get in the way of making things happen. So I want to share with you a little story. When I was a new consultant, I was a people pleaser. I would work extra long, I would do the extra thing, I would take on the extra project, and I would do that really, really consistently. And what I would do is I would take on more onto my to-do list and say, yes, 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 I'm going to do that thing. And I always thought that it was because I was in service to other people, right? And I really value helping other people. So it felt good to take that on and to deliver something and to get that smile from the person when they got the thing that I helped them to do. It always felt good. However, when I kept doing that and I kept putting myself and what I needed to the side, what ended up happening over time was I worked longer and longer hours. I'd work overnight regularly, too regularly. And I would actually find myself doing things that actually depleted my ability to serve other people powerfully. So what happened was I started to gain a lot of weight. I started to make choices that basically led to being somewhat antisocial, right? So these very people that I wanted to connect to and be of service to, they started to become a burden. They started to become like almost something that I was objecting to the service of them, because I was feeling more and more caged by what it was that they were asking me to do. And even though I was the one that was saying, yes, I want to serve, it was almost like the more they found that I could serve, the more they kept asking, and the more I kept saying yes, and the more I was really just after pleasing them. And one of the biggest game changers was realizing, wait, One, if I am completely depleted because I'm constantly helping and serving other people, that's going to limit my ability to help and serve other people. So that was a bit of a game changer, pretty big game changer, because I realized that I needed to prioritize my own energy to be able to do that. But it wasn't until a few years later, when I'm managing my energy and kind of fighting for it, that I had a second realization that really pivoted my view on service and the support of other people. And that is that if I am such a loving being that I want to serve and help, then why do I believe that I need to insert myself into their world to be able to rescue them all the time? Ooh, right? If I really love them, then I need to empower them. The second realization came pretty much on the heels of that one, and that was, who am I really pleasing when I overextend myself and I continue to say yes? And this was a really hard question, guys. It turned out that it really was more about me feeling good about me being the kind of person who serves than it was being about them and what they actually needed. And that realization, I went, whoa. I realized there were so many people in my life at that time that I was actually enabling them to stay stuck because they knew they could count on me to come in and fix it for them. And the second that I realized that they were perpetuating their own story, their own dramas about how they were incapable of fixing their own dramatic situation. And I was making that possible for them because I kept rescuing them, because I was trying to please them, because it was more about my own recognition of being such a servant. So what happened? Well, when I finally realized that, I stopped intervening so much and I started listening. And I started asking empowering questions of those very same people. I wanted to know, well, what are you already doing about it? And they would tell me what they were doing about it. Whereas in the past, I would just rush in and try and help. Now I'm asking them, what are you doing about it? What's going on? Where are the challenges? How is that? What are you going to do to overcome this challenge that you're talking about? Leaving the power with them, because I realized that to really care about them, I had to leave their power with them. And when they would present something that was a challenge that I realized that, I feel good about appropriately injecting myself here by asking them if it would be helpful, how I want to help, and leaving the power with them to decide whether they want to invite me to help. Game changer. Game changer. Because what happened was they stopped their own cycle of dependence on me that got me overextended. And when I did help them, it was in a way that they're like, wow, that was really powerful. That really served me. But the power stayed with me. So I hope that this idea kind of stirs some things up for you. My powerful, empowering questions to you in service would be, where in your life are you overextending yourself for other people? Right? And how possible is it that you are actually doing that to get the recognition and validation in yourself? And if you had that already, if you already felt really good about who you are and that you are in service and you don't need that external validation anymore, then what would you do differently? How would you serve them in a way that you are empowered to stay within yourself and to cultivate your own energy and your own stuff that you could empower other people to rise up to their game and not be so dependent on you because they are more empowered to act themselves? Where would that help you? So that's another episode of Making It Happen. I hope that it served you. Really looking forward to another great week, and I hope you have an awesome week. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this video. Feel free to share it with your friends. You can forward on the email. You can subscribe in YouTube. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on LinkedIn. Let's connect. Tell me what you are working on, how you are making things happen. And if you're running into challenges, tell me about that too. What's going on? It'll influence what shows up here in the video blog, and there may be some other resources that I could connect you with. So take care. Have an awesome week. Bye-bye.